What's going on, you guys? In today's video, we'll be going over on how to raise your prices. We'll be using very basic math and tracking to ensure that we take calculated risks when raising our prices. Before we get into the numbers, I just want to go over the mindset behind raising your prices and what most people feel before they raise their prices. You will have loyal client syndrome, which you'll think about all of those people that stayed with you since day one, that gave you the opportunity to cut them, and close friends, family members. Those people will come to your head and you'll start kind of justifying the price raise. You'll be telling yourself in the back of your head, should I give them a discount? Should I not? All of those things fall under the category of having loyal client syndrome. You will have some anxiety. Let's be real, your barbering business is how you provide for yourself. You're gonna be scared. You're not gonna wanna make the jump. You're gonna justify a lot of things in your head. But let's be real, being in business means that we make money, that we make changes, and we strive for growth. Changing is uncomfortable, and being uncomfortable causes pain. Being able to identify those pain points in yourself, it's going to give you that sign of relief that everything is going to be okay. And being more informed in your decisions and your numbers and the mindset that goes behind this, I can assure you that you will feel better going into the price point jump. So let's embrace the pain. Let's embrace the change, and let's go into this new season of change, which means raising your prices. So let's make more money. And now for the numbers part of this, I want to explain briefly an example just so you understand this in a very basic manner. So let's just play some hypothetical situations. Let's say you're a barber charging $30 a haircut and you're doing 40 cuts in a week. You're 100% booked up. 30 times 40 is 1,200. 1,200 times 4 is 4,800. You can't fit any more people in your bookings. You're stuck at 4,800 and you keep rinsing and repeating this month after month, month after month. What happens? You can't make more money. The only way that you can make more money is if you free up your schedule. How do you free up your schedule? You raise your prices and you lose clientele. So now let's say you raise your prices by $10 and you lose 20% of your clientele. 20% of 40 is 8. So now you subtract 40 by 8 and now you have 32 heads that you have to cut at a $40 price point. Now you're doing 32 cuts at $40. 40 times 32 is $1,280. Now you're making $80 more. You raise your potential and now you opened up more bookings for people to book you. Let's say you become fully booked now. You're making $1,600 a week. 1,600 times 4 is 6,400. So see the difference now in your potential that you can make, and see the difference now in how much time you had when you raise your prices. If you do 1 hour appointments, it's an extra 8 hours to your day. So now just understand that frame, that you have to raise to lose, and it's healthy to lose. So you can do the same thing for any price point. The main key thing here is think about all the money that you're losing every single month by not making that jump. All of the time that you're also wasting. So the quicker that you can get your numbers to be healthy, and the golden mean that you guys have to follow is 80 to 95% booked up in your schedule and about 3 to 5 new clients coming in every single week. And if you guys have a way bigger number with new clients every month, then you guys can go up by way more than $10. So you guys can play the game according to your situation. Of course, consult with the mentor and get some advice. But at the end of the day, it just comes down to what you want to do with your business and how much risk you want to take according to your situation. I'm gonna give you guys a quick example of a student inside the academy that's raised their prices, and you guys can see the difference in income from the moment that they raise their prices. So we're gonna examine Natalie's tracking sheets. One tracking sheet of the before when she raised her prices, and one tracking sheet months after she raised her prices. And you guys will see the difference in her percentage booked, her new clients coming in, her income, and her tips. So let's go ahead and take a look. Okay, very briefly, I will go through 2 tracking sheets. One before the price raise. Let's check out her profile. She raised her prices basically December 20th. So at the start of the month, which is perfect timing, you guys should raise your prices in the middle of the month. So the next month, so you guys can start a clean tracking sheet at your new price point. So you guys don't have to mix in 2 price points in one tracking sheet. So she went up January 2nd. So let's examine her numbers in November. So she was 86% booked up. She was getting 20 new clients a month, and her haircut income was $4,800. Her tips were amazing, $1,500. Total monthly income was $6,259. If she would have waited a little bit more, I think her momentum would have died down a little bit and she would have been more tired. She was already not recording as much content. She felt like she was ready. She then asked me for advice on what she should do next. At that point is I can give her my advice. I say your numbers are healthy, you can raise your prices, but it's up to you, because you can still milk it a little bit and save a little bit more cash and get your percentage book to maybe 90 to 95% to be on the safer side. But she honestly didn't care. She felt like her tips were good, her good clients were gonna stay. So we're like, all right, cool, let's raise it. So she did it. And now let's examine her numbers now from $6,200 a month to January. She's at $45 a cut. She got 23 new clients, which was more than she was doing in November. And her haircut income is $6,800 now. So it basically matched what she was doing last month without the tips. You include the tips stayed the same at $1,500. And now she made a total of $8,274. So let's make the difference between 8,274, just say 8,300, and she made 6,300. So that's a $2,000 difference. So just because she decided to look at her numbers, she decided to take the risk, she made an extra $2,000. So if you put that in a 12-month span, she made an extra $24,000 from making one really good calculated decision. So even then, looking at her numbers still here, there's so much more room for growth. If she goes another 10% of her clientele, 10% of her clientele is about 18 clients. So if she gets another 18 clients, multiply 18 times 45. That's how much more money she has to make still to get to her ceiling that she had in the previous price point jump. Play the game, guys. She can potentially be making 10K a month from one great move. So her next step is gonna be to get an extra 10 to 15% and make sure that her new clients coming in stays the same, and she's ready to go up by another $10 or $15. And at that point, she'll be pushing for $13,000 to $15,000 months. That's an example on what you guys should do when it comes to raising prices. Make sure that the golden mean stays the same. You follow that as a guideline. You consult with one of us, one of the mentors. You make sure that you get the green light. But at the end of the day, it comes down on what you want to do with your business. But let's get it, guys. If you are on the verge of raising your prices and you do raise your prices, make sure you guys post it in the community so we can celebrate this W, because as barbers, that is the goal, is to make more money in less time. At the end of the day, we're business owners. We don't rely on a 9 to 5. We're not corporate. We don't have to work 3 years to get a $5 raise. We can do it in 3 to 4 months. So be appreciative of your career. Barbering is one of the best careers out there. 6-figure income is super possible for anybody. Look at Natalie. She's on her way to becoming a 6-figure barber at a $45 price point. So let's get it, guys. It's time to lock in and it's time to focus, guys.